Driving digital adoption is really about a company helping its customers to actually start using digital assets. And what do I mean by digital assets? The website, the mobile app, kiosk, anything other than a face-to-face interaction or a voice channel. Digital adoption really is just about how or whether or not customers are using those assets. Most companies in this current day have a number of those assets. Are customers actually trying and successfully executing whatever interaction type that they have? Are they being successful at it? Companies are trying to pursue digital adoption for a number of reasons. And there are some fairly pragmatic reasons, and then there are some higher level strategic approaches. At its basic level, I think a lot of companies view this as a purely cost-cutting exercise, meaning if my customer engages on a digital channel such as a website and they self-serve, then they're happy, but more to the point, I've saved a call into the contact center and I've saved that incremental cost. That's certainly a legitimate reason for wanting digital adoption, but I think it's a bit short-sighted in the big picture. And the reason is this: most customers actually enjoy the ability to self-serve, and frankly, the younger generations are starting to actively look for organizations that will support their ability to execute the work that they need to do or the transactions they need to execute in some kind of digital capacity. And they're somewhat reluctant to actually engage with an organization if they feel like they can't actually do what they want to in a digital capacity. So frankly, this is kind of a competitive advantage, or maybe even a qualifying event, that you have to be able to meet customers on the channels where they expect in the digital realm. Otherwise, you run the risk of being perceived as irrelevant and untimely. So companies are trying to do a number of things to drive digital adoption. And unfortunately, most of them are reverting to, or I won't say reverting, I would say they're limited to passive approaches, which is to say they're trying to market and educate their member base or their customer base into using digital assets. The challenge with it is exactly it's passive. There's nothing that's actively encouraging customers to pursue and use these digital assets. Now, there's always going to be a small percentage of very active digital users, call them digital natives if you will, who will seek out and find digital assets and use them. 10-20% of your customer base, depending on your industry, probably falls into that category. These passive approaches, though, don't do much for helping the other 80% of customers. And so what we're seeing for forward-thinking companies is taking a more active approach to digital adoption. And by that, what I mean is this: whereas education is purely a passive exercise, an active approach would be to meet the customer on whatever channel they may happen to be on and introduce digital assets in an intelligent way in that moment, so that instead of being a complete redirect, the customer is presented with a digital option right where they are, and then they can see the efficacy, if you will, or the ability to accomplish what they want right then and there on the digital channel. And what these companies are seeing is a repeat usage of those assets and a trend of growing customer base actually starting to adopt these digital assets.